Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Now they'll run with Lewis. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Now let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now let's go. Boom, landed.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January, but there's 20 other teams who wouldn't mind being on that road.
You're exactly right about that. But your point about how daunting this is well taken, because it all depends on their mindset now. How do you break it down so that you're not looking at this whole big road and say to yourself, we've got no shot? You break it down to this game right now, win that one, then worry about the rest of them after that.
And that's exactly right, and the staff told us that. They've been focusing with the players on don't look ahead, but that's hard to do sometimes, is it not?
It is hard to do because the ultimate goal is to do what? Is to win a Super Bowl. So you have to look ahead a little bit, but you make sure you focus on the game at hand. Just
a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Goff. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Jordan Willis in there to get him for a loss of 5.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Lewis. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Gone. Sets up the screen to Lewis. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle to Evans. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do?
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And on the ground they go with a running back. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Down. He'll drop to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll look to throw. Ebron with it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's 3rd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Forced out to his left. He made, and they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. It's their quarterback. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again here on offense. Jared Goff trots back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They run. This is Lewis. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, that's Lewis. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides.
This is caught inside the 15. He got 29 yards that time. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Goff again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the gun, here's Goff. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's gone. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, Goff dumps it off to Lewis. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target in. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll throw now on the final play. Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. So we come upon halftime here. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. One of these 2 teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Right back to him on 1st down. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this is inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now the second-year man from South Dakota State, it's Zach Zenner. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Taylor. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
And they'll go on the ground. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. In for the score. And the 49ers add on to their lead. But look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game. A message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Gone. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Here we go now.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter, because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And he connects with Ebron. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And some space here. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
On 1st and 10, Goff. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On 2nd and 10, Goff over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. A shotgun snap for Goff. Going for the deep ball. This is caught. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Dion Lewis, 42 yards. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Now the try here for the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And that will get them one closer. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles.
And he lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a solid run down inside the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
The Niners on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will make the lead now 26. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a 1st down throw. Gone. Over the middle, complete. It's Hampton. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Go off throwing again. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Goff now looking to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To the air again. Goff. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on just 8 teams. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll get ready for the trek back to the city as we say so long from Santa Clara.
What a great city it is. We're going to have a blast tonight.